Breaking news! The Ravens OTA period is officially over, and what we saw during these practices is setting the stage for some major shakeups heading into mandatory minicamp and beyond. From surprise standouts to potential roster casualties, the buzz surrounding some names is heating up fast, and not always in a good way. One rookie edge rusher has people rethinking Baltimore's entire defensive identity, while a struggling veteran may already be on the outside looking in. We've got a lot to break down, but before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," to let us know you're all in for 2025. Let's get right into it. The biggest standout from the Ravens OTAs was none other than rookie outside linebacker Mike Green. Drafted 59th overall out of Marshall, Green has not just lived up to expectations, he's blowing them out of the water. Reporters watched him intercept a rollout pass from Devin Leary, a play that displayed his elite athleticism and football IQ. But it's not just about one flashy moment. Green's college production, 17 sacks and 60 pressures in his senior season, was no fluke, and he's starting to show that same game-wrecking ability in Baltimore. If he keeps this up, Mike Green won't just make the rotation, he'll be a central piece of the Ravens' pass rush puzzle, especially in situations where pressure is needed the most. Like that Buffalo game last year where Josh Allen had all day to throw. If Green can change that narrative, he may already be one of the most important rookies on this roster. But where there are winners, there are also losers, and unfortunately, rookie kicker Tyler Loop did not impress. Going 5 for 9 during one field goal session, with all 4 of his misses coming from 50-plus yards, has raised some eyebrows. It's not just the misses, it's the inconsistency. While we can acknowledge that even Justin Tucker had his share of struggles last season, Loop is under the microscope. The Ravens have no margin for error when it comes to special teams, and any dip in reliability could spell disaster in tight games. Another bright spot, and arguably one of the most underappreciated players on the roster, is Tavius Robinson. Defensive line coach Chuck Smith didn't hold back, calling Robinson one of the centerpieces of this defense. Robinson's performance in the OTAs and the tail end of last season, especially in the Buffalo game, validates those bold claims. For tackles, 3 solo and 2.5 stuffs against Buffalo tells you everything you need to know. He's not just good, he's consistent in the run game and disruptive in the pass game. If he truly becomes a mainstay in this rotation, he could provide that foundational grit that defines great Ravens defenses. But Robinson's rise may come at the cost of another promising player, David Ojabo. This is where the conversation gets uncomfortable. Last season's depth issues at edge rusher are gone. With Mike Green and Adissa Isaac added to a group that already includes Kyle Van Noy and Odefoa, the position is crowded. Only 5 edge rushers were carried last year, and if that number stays the same, someone has to go. Based on impact, performance, and potential, Ojabo looks like the odd man out. He's not just being outperformed, he's being overshadowed. If Robinson is a centerpiece, Ojabo is unfortunately starting to look like an afterthought. Then there's TJ Tampa. After an injury-hampered rookie season, the cornerback is turning heads in a big way. Clifton Brown praised him for putting together strong practices and even coming up with an acrobatic interception. With Chidobe Awuzie currently sidelined, Tampa has a real opportunity to make a move up the depth chart. John Harbaugh is seeing flashes, and he wants Tampa to play like the physically dominant corner he is. The Ravens' cornerback room isn't exactly solidified. If Tampa capitalizes, he could not only earn playing time but give this secondary the boost it desperately needs. And make no mistake, Baltimore needs it. What's really interesting here isn't just who's rising and who's falling, it's what this all says about how the Ravens are evolving. A team known for its defense might be finding new leaders in surprising places. Mike Green's emergence could fundamentally shift the pass rush dynamic. Tavius Robinson stepping into a leadership role changes expectations for the defensive line. And if TJ Tampa can become a reliable contributor, the secondary suddenly looks a lot more secure. But this shift also creates tension. If veterans and former high picks like David Ojabo can't keep up, their spots may vanish faster than expected. And that's the reality of this team right now. Talent is everywhere, but the competition is brutal. And just like that, the battle lines are drawn. Because what's happening at the edge rusher position isn't just a roster battle, it's a cultural moment for the Ravens. You've got 2 players in Tavius Robinson and David Ojabo, each representing different storylines, different levels of trust, and potentially 2 very different futures in Baltimore. Robinson is rising fast, praised by coaches, producing on the field, and commanding respect in the locker room. Ohabo, meanwhile, is trying to fight his way back from injury, inconsistency, and missed opportunities. But the NFL isn't sentimental. It's a business built on performance and availability, and right now, the Ravens seem to be moving forward with a new defensive identity, one where Tavius Robinson plays a starring role. And then there's the bigger question nobody seems to want to ask. What exactly does this say about the Ravens' long-term vision? Think about it. The emergence of Mike Green, the possible breakout of TJ Tampa, and the growing influence of Robinson aren't just roster adjustments, they're philosophical shifts. Harbaugh and his staff are clearly betting big on youth, athleticism, and next-gen playmakers over name recognition or draft status. That gamble is especially clear in the secondary. While veterans like Chidobe Awuzie have been penciled in as starters, players like TJ Tampa are creeping up from behind. Harbaugh's comment that Tampa doesn't yet understand how good he is, that's both a challenge and a compliment. It's clear the coaching staff sees untapped potential there, and with the Ravens' cornerback unit looking thinner than ideal, there's real urgency for someone like Tampa to make the leap. This isn't just about filling a backup role. It's about reshaping the narrative in a group that, quite frankly, hasn't inspired confidence since last season. If Tampa continues stacking good practices, he's going to force his way onto the field, and the more he does, the more likely it becomes that the Ravens quietly shift him into starting conversations. And let's be honest, a breakout season from Tampa could redefine the outlook for this entire secondary. Meanwhile, don't overlook the broader implications of what's happening at kicker. Tyler Loop's struggles might seem minor in June, but come September, every missed field goal becomes a headline. Justin Tucker, while still elite, isn't untouchable forever. The Ravens brought in Loop for a reason, perhaps to challenge or eventually succeed Tucker. But 5.49 in practice, especially with all 4 misses from long range, isn't building confidence. It's creating questions. And in a league where games are often decided by a few points, kicking matters more than most fans want to admit. So what does all of this mean for the 2025 Ravens? It means the team is at a crossroads. They're not just tweaking the roster, they're potentially ushering in a new generation of stars. Mike Green isn't just a promising rookie, he might be a franchise-altering talent. TJ Tampa isn't just depth, he could be a future CB1. And Tavius Robinson? If the coaching staff's faith in him holds true, he may soon become one of the most important voices on the defensive side of the ball. That's the beauty and the chaos of this point in the offseason. Nothing is certain. Everything is possible. The front office has built a roster loaded with potential, but with that potential comes tough decisions. David Ohabo may be one of many who find themselves on the outside of a youth-driven revolution. Veterans will have to prove they still belong. Young players will have to prove they're ready. But one thing's for sure, Ravens fans should be watching closely, because what's unfolding right now in practice fields and meeting rooms could very well shape how this team performs come the fall. Every rep, every snap, every drill is another chapter in the story of the 2025 Baltimore Ravens. So don't take your eyes off this team. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video if you're enjoying the deep dive, and keep watching. We've got more stories and breakdowns coming your way. Check out the videos on screen now for more exclusive Ravens content. See you in the next one.